Good evening, everyone out there. Welcome back to In the Know, brought to you by the Racing Post and Coral. My name is Ross Brierley, and we're getting excited for 3 days at Cheltenham. No, they haven't sensibly knocked one off the festival. It is, of course, the November meeting, where we've got the Greatwood Hurdle on Sunday. We've got an absolute feast of handicap chasers on Saturday, and then we've got Friday as well. But we're going to have a good look at that to throw it into the mix. But look, you can't have everything. We've got some absolutely fantastic competitive racing over the weekend, and to be fair, we've got a few small fields in the greater races on Friday, but we might see a nice horse or two. We also might find a nice winner or two, but regardless of what happens, it's just good to be back at Cheltenham, and on good ground as well. It is a bit odd sometimes. You often think that the early season form, well, that won't matter by the time you get to the spring. It'll be on completely different ground, and to be fair, that might also be true because it was heavy at this year's at Cheltenham Festival on the Tuesday, so it might well have reversed and turned on its head, but either way, let's just have a fun 3 days at Prestbury Park, shall we? We are, of course, live and interactive as ever, so hello to everyone watching at home. Who's out there? Alan Keane, Brian Gold, Ian Takana, Tom Leach, Chris Miller, James, Sean O'Connor, Ryan Gledow, Frizzy Red, Barry Sicton-S, David Kirk and Duncan Evans so far, and everyone else as well. Don't forget, like, subscribe, smile, enjoy yourselves. And what a treat for you we've got, because the studio is packed to bursting. With tip-top tipsters, both of them ready if it doesn't go to plan for a round of golf. Starting off with the man to my left in an attractive baby blue number, Mr. Paul Kealy.
Hi, how you doing? It was soft on the first day at Cheltenham last year. I know that because I backed heavy at 33-1, and the clerk, of course, refused to change it.
I know.
Don't want to start on a bad note, but I'm still angry about that.
I genuinely thought you'd be over it by now, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No. I could do with the money after the way the punt has been going the last few weeks as well. So
fair enough.
So yeah,
maybe back it to be good to firm. This year?
Yeah, it could be anything, couldn't we? They've been putting loads of water down, so who knows?
Yeah. It's again, look, this happens with multiple day meetings, but they've moved a couple of races to the Friday to try and make that a little bit more exciting. We've got small fields. Saturday's an absolute blinder of a card.
Saturday's a cracking card. I mean, there ought to be a bit of leeway, isn't there? Like, why don't we have, why didn't they kick, say, the Novice Hurdle to be the first race tomorrow, and then put one of the big field handicaps on, a bit of something for everyone. Like, with graded races in Britain, you're going to get small fields. With novice chasers in Britain, you're going to get tiny fields. Yeah. So I could have done something to give someone a bit of everything, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could indeed. But Graeme Rodway's in the studio as well. Let's not get too down on ourselves though, Rodders. It could be Exeter, for example. It's been worse recently.
Yeah, it could be a walkover, couldn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Let's take 4 runners.
Yeah, 4 runners. At least we've got a race.
Yeah, what a treat.
How ground with a fast be, eh?
Say that again.
How ground will the fast be?
How ground will the fast be? Yeah. Exactly. It's the opposite, mate. Exactly.
Yeah, the opposite. It could be really quick. It probably won't be because it's Cheltenham. They would have put a lot of water down, you would have thought. But it's great to be back at Cheltenham, isn't it? No doubt about it.
Too right. Absolutely. Any horses that you've been particularly excited about showing their face this weekend?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks ever so much, Rodway. Lovely stuff. It pays not to get too far ahead of yourself, doesn't it? David Stevens, a very good evening to you. How are you, mate?
Well, couple of things. Did Rodders really say how ground will the fast be?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's normally how ground will the soft be. So, but we're mixing it up for the jump season.
And I never thought so, but we need to bring back Tom Siegel for the positivity. The way Rodders has answered your last question there. Evening, gents. Lovely to see you both. Look, the jump season.
Who is it not lovely to see?
There's 3 of us here in here, Steve.
I said gents. Lovely.
Oh, said both. You said both, but fair enough.
The jump season has many starts, depending on how much you dislike the flat, but this, unquestionably, we are now into it. This is a big one. Look, small fields, you're right. Unprecedented dry spell at the moment, but don't worry, the snow's on its way, so that'll all change. But even some of the races tomorrow, small fields, it doesn't make them any easier to pick the winners for. But we're going to look at, I think, races Friday and Saturday. A couple of price boosts to kick off on tomorrow's races, though. John Bond, one of the star acts we'll be talking about. Him to win the Shloer Chase by over 3 lengths is 5-4, and either Conflated or Mr. Coffee to win the cross country is 2-1 from 6-4, both up to a maximum of 20 quid, and both live until 7:30 tonight.
Lovely stuff. Thanks, Steve. I do feel a bit. I mean, my brain now is. I feel like it is a bit Groundhog Day, isn't it? John Bond, conflated, Mr. Coffee. I mean, again, it is the joy of the jump season. But yeah, it's. Is any horse, anything particular, anyone you're looking forward to unleashing over the weekend?
I'm looking forward to the feature race on Saturday. The Paddy Power. You got the Grade 1 forms of the likes of Protectorat and Ginny Star up against the handicappers like Fugitive that run so well. Look, it's always. I love this meeting. I go back, grew up watching David Johnson win all the races trained by Martin Pipe, and that used to be easy in those days. You just used to back the DJ colours. It's not that simple now, but it's still a brilliant 3 days. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, well, I used to toss the coin occasionally and back a well-handicapped John Joe runner, which, to be fair, this season might well be coming back a little bit. So who knows? And after David Pipe won the big race at Aintree last week, David, maybe we are going back in time.
Yeah, there's a couple of David's horses. David's horses. I've got my eye on over the next couple as well. Like everything out of Pond House, very little is told publicly.
Absolutely. Okay, right. Well, we've got plenty to get through, so let's get this ad into the show and then get stuck in. Okay, right, plenty to get through then. Again, if you're on the chat and you've got a strong fancy, put your horse in the capital letters, a little bit of reason. I'll try and throw as many in as possible. And a few people asking where Tom Siegel is. There's been that many withdrawals from the England squad. He's actually on the bench to face Greece tonight, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately. Right, let's get to Cheltenham on Friday then, shall we? Starting off with this Novices Chase. Again, given what's occasionally happens in these kind of races, what a treat it is to actually have 4 races, all with a genuine chance of winning here. Springwell Bay 6-4, Highland 5-2, Buddy 1 7-2, Resplendent Grey at 4-1. Again, novice chasers are always tend to be small fields, although we might well turn that on its head when we get to the one on Saturday's card. But we have had some nice horses win this in the past 10 years. The Real Whacker, Thistlecrack and Black Corton won this and went on to win in Grade 1 company over fences as well. So it might well be that one of these 4 do make their mark at the highest level. At the moment, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that this lineup is going to produce a Grade 1 winner, but it is quite hard to judge. We do have a Grade 1 place hurdler in the shape of Buddy 1. He's had a mixed record so far over the bigger obstacles. Both Springwell Bay and Highland absolutely dotted up on their last couple of starts, Keel. So we've got very good hurdlers, and we've got horses who've taken very quickly to chase him.
We have, yeah. I mean, Springwell Bay did really well, didn't he? He jumped pretty well on his return. My issue with him is trip more than anything else, because I never really had him down as a 3-miler. I know he should on pedigree stay, but he always races keenly. He was getting, he won by a fair margin last time, but they were gaining on him, and I just wonder whether he's strong in the finish. I don't like Highland at all. I thought he won a Mickey Mouse race that fell apart in a very slow time, and a race with 5 fences omitted. And Resplendent Grey is a soft ground horse, and he was making a meal of winning off 132, and it would have been a little closer if the runner-up hadn't thumped the last. So I'm coming down to Buddy 1. He's got his negatives as well, though, because, well, for a start, I mean, on the positive side, he's getting weight from 2 horses that he was the best part of £10 better than over hurdles. He's getting 5 off Springwell Bay and 3 off Highland, I think. And he did win first time out, but he made a meal of it in a 3-runner race, and then he finished last of 3 last time. But it was to Hartwood and Corbett's Cross, who both had Grade 1 form last season. The big issue with Buddy 1 is that he can jump a fence, but he approaches them sometimes as though he's not sure he can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's very safe, and 2 things happen with these horses: they either improve as they gain confidence with experience, or they start backing off and decide they don't like it.
And there's a possibility that he actually ends up back in the stayers in the spring.
Exactly. He's a prime candidate for going back over hurdles if it doesn't work. But He likes Cheltenham. He's won a race here before. I think he prefers good ground, and given that he is getting weight of horses he's superior to, he's the one I take a chance on.
Yeah, he's a funny one, isn't it? Again, it's after a mile you might think Buddy One's going to win this, or completely opposite.
Yeah.
But because he looked beat when he won,
yeah,
there was a moment of worry.
He was miles better than them, though, wasn't he? He slowed into a couple.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just a case of whether he decides he can do it or not. But I think he's a bit careful, a bit windy.
Okay. Buddy One then is a 7-2 shot here. Springwell Bay though 6-4. I mean, again, very talented hurdler, Rodders, and like I said, the John Joe team appear to have kind of found a level of consistency that they haven't had for a long time this year.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And the form of his Chepstow win's working out quite well, isn't it? Boom Bond came out and won the Rising Stars, and he was comfortably held, wasn't he? The problem is, of course, is that he is rated, well, lower than Buddy One and similar to Highland. He's got to give them both weight. I think he will stay. I always thought he would get 3 miles, particularly over fences, but we'll see. I thought I didn't know what was not to like about Highland. Kill seems to absolutely hate him. Seems like he's got no chance. But yeah, I mean it was a slow time, but he put 15 lengths on him off a slow time. That's not easy to do.
It was one of those. They didn't crawl. It was a proper. It was a pace collapse kind of slow time, wasn't it? Where they just.
Yeah, I just thought the race fell apart. Unfit horses that time of year. You know, that's what bothers me. I mean, I could be wrong, but it, for me, it was an issue.
But then on his hurdles form, he's not that far behind, is he? So he could just be improving.
Yeah, I mean he's rated £1 below Springwell Bow. He gets 2 off of him. We know he jumps fences. That was his first run over fences over 3. So he's still quite unexposed at the trip. He's got a good record at Cheltenham. I think he's 1-2 there from 3 starts. He likes good ground. I thought he was by far the most likely winner. Bound to Greatness, who was miles behind him, obviously came out and won. I didn't really know what was not to like. Buddy One, I could see if it wouldn't surprise you if Buddy One won this and still ended up over hurdles. Would it? You know, like he's so well in on his hurdles form that he could belt a few, look like a not natural and still win, and then end up over hurdles at the end of the year. But I don't like backing that sort of horse. I'd rather back one that I know jumps and I know Highland does.
Yeah, fair enough. Highland is then, who, like Rodder said, is 2 from 3 at the track. His only defeat was only running soft ground, so he's unbeaten on.
So trainer's not exactly firing, is he, Nicky Henderson?
Oh, I know, but how many times did we have that conversation? Oh,
it's true, every
other month.
Yeah, it's true, though, isn't it?
So, but anyway,
2 from 19 November.
Yeah, but
short prices pulled up and getting chinned and that.
I know, but that's just the way they are at the moment, isn't it? I mean, like I said the O'Neill stable. I mean, John Joe used to be, he'd have an incredible month and couldn't train a winner for a month, and it feels like he's passed that on to Hendo, and Hendo's passed him his old consistency.
Well, at least Highland's had a run as well, and he has won. So it's not like he's coming out there off a break, is it? You'd be more worried if he was coming in off a break.
Yeah. Okay. Plenty of opinions, Mr. David Stevens.
Yeah, prime example, small field, but doesn't make it easy. Resplendent Grey probably wants it softer. Will, the favourite, stay this trip? Buddy One hasn't been the same over fences as he was over hurdles. I'm with Rodders. I'm a Highland fan. Horse win, won on good ground, will get the trip. He is one of Nicky's that has won. Yeah, at the prices, it wouldn't put me off that Henderson hasn't had too many winners. Look, said Paul Nicholls wasn't firing until last weekend and he banged in 5 at Wincanton, so that can change quickly enough once these better horses come out.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's the 145 at Cheltenham. The 220 has moved from Sunday to Friday, and it is no, are we not?
No, that race is the 5th race on Saturday.
Saturday. There we go.
Somebody wants the show over with.
And we've got the 3:30 on Saturday as well.
I tell you what, time flies. Time flies, doesn't it?
There we go.
It really does. To be fair, the race that they just put up there is the only race of the weekend I have a really strong opinion on. So let's sack the rest off. Let's go back to that. It's the production team have been on the Shloer. So we look at the 220. John Bont then 2-5 here. Edwardstown 7-2. Boot Hill is 9-1. Unexpected Party is 20-1. And speaking of Groundhog Day, we're back again. And John Bont is comfortably the youngest, most unexposed horse in his field. At 8 years old, he's 2-5. Edwardstone is up against him once again. Actually, to be fair, I've been a bit harsh on Boot Hill there. He's older than John Bond, but you could argue that he's actually more unexposed. An Unexpected Party, I'm sure, will have an expected target at some point this season. Speaking of Henderson decisions, we thought Buddy won, in the last race might well go back over hurdles. Are we expecting John Bond to win this and then go up in trip later on? Will he batter Edwardstone? What will Unexpected Party win this year?
Not this.
Not this?
It's about as straightforward as you can get, isn't it? John Bond's never been beaten by Edwardstone. Thrashed him in this race last year, we'll do it again. Booty will have a good run round for third, prime him up for next week's race at Ascot that he's won for the last 2 years, and Unexpected Party will drop £15 and win a handicap sometime in the spring.
and go back to the Grand Annual again.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it, isn't it?
What's the distance then? You love a distance prediction.
I don't do a distance run. I don't even win when I name the distance. I don't want to damn John Bond with that now, do I?
Well, I'm gonna. I
5 or 6 left.
I thought it might. I think he'll in some capacity make a bit of a meal of it. And win decisively, but to be fair, that's John Bond all over. Decisively, but still
not
indecisively. Undecisive.
It's 3-0 in the matches with Edwardstone, isn't it? Edwardstone really never looked like he's going to beat him. John Bond's only ever lost 3 races, and they were all at Cheltenham. That's the only thing you would say. Yes, he won at Cheltenham because he won this race last year when he slammed Edwardstone by a mile. But obviously he was turned over at 1-4, wasn't he? So in a similar sort of race to this, when he didn't really look at the races that day. But we all know, as we said earlier, if John Bond turns up on his best form, he will win. However, it'll be interesting to see how they ride Edwardstone here, won't it? Because he looked like a different horse at, was it Newbury last year, when they blasted him out from the front and he went out and took apart the Game Spirit field by 40 lengths.
Yeah, and he wasn't exactly, he would have, he wasn't going to be beaten that far in the Champion Chase with similar-ish tactics.
Well, no, I thought I made one of the best arguments of the year only to be wrong in that race, which was that Edwardstone would go so fast that it would completely break El Fabiolo's drumping, which is exactly what happened. Only problem was I wasn't expecting Captain Guinness to turn up on the bridle and come and beat them all, which he did. And it's possible that could happen here, couldn't it? Say, for example, Edwardstone goes out and blasts away like he did in the Champion Chase. John Bond chases him. They end up knocking each other about coming to the last. Boot Hill's always ridden really, really quietly. Yeah. If the race falls apart, it could happen. However, when Edwardstone raced John Bond at Sandown, they didn't ride him like that, did they? John Bond went off and made all, and they sat behind on Edwardstone. If they do that, John Bond will just hammer him, won't he? Yeah. So, to me, it could be an interesting race if they decide with Edwardstone that they're going to go out there and blast him and really try and put John Bond to the sword. But if they don't do that, John Bond will just beat him. I suppose it depends how ready Edwardstone is for the race. If they think they've got Edwardstone at his peak first time up, ready to rock, they might well go out and try and expose the flaws in John Bond's possible lack of fitness. He is also who got better and better with racing last year, wasn't he, John Bond? He does seem to thrive on racing, John Bond. So again,
he does. I think he needs a bit of waking up almost.
Yeah, I just wonder if Edwardstone is right and they really go out and put John Bond to the sword, it could be a good race. Not only because Edwardstone could beat him, but Boot Hill might be able to pick him up.
Look at this. I thought we struggled to get excited about this, but Rodders is
this race only needed about 30 seconds.
I know, I love it. Whipped himself into a frenzy. Absolutely. Perfect still. The only thing I would say, you said John Bond's only been beaten 3 times. It is at Cheltenham. That is true. None of those races, Nico was on board. So Nico is unbeaten as well. And I do think, partly, there's been times where the ride on John Bond has been questioned, hasn't it?
Institution Hill was one of them. El Fabiolo was another, wasn't it? And then he just made an absolute howler behind an exceeding nuts.
Yeah, and he still nearly won. Yeah, he still nearly.
He does have a mistake.
Would you back him at 2-5 though?
I don't bet at those prices anyway, so I wouldn't back anything at 2-5. Just not me.
I don't think he's 2-5.
Yeah, look.
Not first time up.
The thing is, he'll be. It might be 5-2 at some point, but I still think he'll win. I think you'll get excited. You'll go on, Edwardstone, 2 out, and then you'll go, oh, yeah.
You think it might be like last year's Champion Chase for me, where like after 4 fences, El Fabiola was being pulled up, and I had Edwardstone out in front, jumping like a stag, thinking, right, this is just going to put them all to the sword. And then Captain Guinness showed up. You think John Bond might tease me in a similar way?
Absolutely. That's exactly what's going to happen. But you'll have fun for a while.
Yeah, well, that's what racing's all about.
Absolutely.
Ross,
for 90% of this Shloer Chase, Rodders is going to be punching the air with glee. David Stevens.
I tell you, if we could bottle that passion Rodders showed there in that description, then British racing would have no concerns at all. The only thing I'm saying, did you actually give a tip after all that, Rodders?
Not really, no.
Rodders' tip is if after a furlong, if Edwardstone has put his head down and galloped off into the lead,
John Bond's walked through the first, then get on.
Then smash into him. Yeah, that's Rodders' selection.
And backboot heel just in case.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He didn't need to give a tip after that wonderful performance. Look, 5-4 that John Bond wins by over 3 lengths. If you want a bit of odds against that, him winning comfortably. He is 7-2 favourite for next year's Champion Chase. You can get 9-2 that he wins tomorrow and wins the Queen Mother Champion Chase. And of course, he's one of Nicky Henderson's runners tomorrow. It's 9-4 from 7-4 that Nicky Henderson has 2 or more at Cheltenham tomorrow and comes back to form.
Okay, lovely stuff. I mean, to be fair, he might not go Chase because the Champion Chase is there for the taking, isn't it? Again, to be fair, especially as it seems to be the one race where the older you get, the more chance you have of winning it at the festival. Then rattling on to the cross country. Oh, I mean, if Otter's got excited about that, just imagine what he's going to get excited about here in this cross-country handicap chase. Mr. Coffee and Conflated are 4-1 joint favourites here. Tommy Bowie's 5-1, Bustleton 6-1, Fame After the Glory 6-1, 8-1, Sweet David 10-1, Slipway. Bigger prices the rest then here for this cross-country handicap chase. Top weight Conflated, a 10-year-old. Lumping 12 stone around in the Gigginstown colours in this race. Well, we've seen that plenty of times before. Not really worked out though. Delta worked twice. You've had Tiger Roll. You've also had Balco Flow, Easyland and Cantlow all carry big weights in this race and be very, very comfortably beaten. And as one of our producers was saying, given that the cross country is back to being a handicap in March, Conflated might be having an interesting winter. Just to get ready for that.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't want to be coming here off 166 in March, would he?
Well, exactly, yeah. And if he wants to get a bit lower, he can't win this, can he?
Yeah, I mean, look at the horses that have tried winning off high ratings in their handicaps in November and December. Delta Works failed, Galvin's failed, Manila Indos failed, Tiger Rolls failed, Easyland failed. The highest winning handicap mark is 156. That was Gard Champetre done it twice. So he's right up against it. He does keep all bar 2 out of the handicap, and amazingly, Cole and all other bookmakers seem to think Mr. Coffee, a horse who's refused to win a handicap off his correct racing weight 11 times, is going to be the biggest danger while out of the handicap. I mean, what?
Idiots. Absolute idiots.
Well, you know what I mean? He just doesn't want to win. Whatever he does, he doesn't want to win. So, you know, I was focusing on the ones that are in the weights, and that was Tommy Bow, super consistent, and Bustleton, who, for a horse carrying 10 stone 2, has a little 10 stone 3 or whatever, has a little bit of class about him. He did not run well last time in the Kerry National. That was on soft ground. I think he's a good ground horse. He won a Kerry National at the age of 5. He's only 7 now. He won that. He finished 5th in Lemilos's Cole Gold Cup, and he comes in here off next to no weight, being well in with all bar 1 other horse. Sorry, 2 other horses if you include Conflated. I thought it'd go well. Fame After the Glory's got a run off 140. He's rated 115 over normal fences in Ireland, but was 3rd in one of these races to Late Night Pass last year. So I suppose you'd give him half an each way chance. And the French one's interesting, but you know what I mean. But he's got 8 stone 13 and a long handicap according to the BHASS. So. You know what I mean? He's got an awful lot to do. So I just went with one in the handicap. I know it's just one of those strange races that anything that can happen, but I just thought, you know, Bustleton's basically better than most of these, isn't he?
Okay. I mean, yeah, can't. I mean, yeah, you'd be, again, in terms of actually quality and genuine ability. I mean, he's another one of those horses. He's 7 years old, but he's a bit like, your Cocoa Beaches of this world that have run 20 times in the hottest handicaps.
Yeah, exactly. And no, he didn't run well last time, but he did win on the flat earlier in the year, so in the summer. So the ability's still there. So I just thought he interested me.
Okay, yeah, Bustleton then 6-1. Mr. Coffee, Conflated. It's gonna be fun, Rodders, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It's. I wonder if I can get away with not giving a tip in this one as well, because this is
Absolutely.
very difficult.
All you get really excited about the way the race might develop. And Mr. Coffee's going to come there, travelling all over them.
Well, yeah, he probably will.
He will, won't
he?
He
Usually does, Conflated, obviously, is the absolute class act in the race, isn't he? And he should really win, shouldn't he? I mean, he should just dawdle around and lead them home. He's just far better than everything else in the race. The problem is, of course, is that, like you say, there's going to be bigger targets down the road. He's fallen, I think, 5 times over fences, or unseated rider 5 times over fences, and this is the first time he ever runs in a cross-country chase. So it'll be interesting to see how he takes to the fences. The rider, Rob James, doesn't ride many winners for Gordon Elliott. I think he's ridden 3 winners in Ireland and none in England for him. So he's hardly his go-to jockey, is it? And all of it's just pointing to the possibility that there might well be another day for Conflated, and this might not be it. The problem is then, of course, is that, as Kills has already said, more than half the field are then out of the weight because Conflated is running off massive mark.
And that is true, but given the nature of the race, it's not going to be 4 or 5 pounds that gets a horse beat in this, is it? It's going to be them hating every minute of it that'll get them beat.
Yeah, usually.
Is there anything that could run okay?
I think that the Gavin Cromwell horse could run well. Fame After the Glory.
Okay.
He's got Johnny Burke on it, which is quite interesting. I think he's got quite a decent record when he books Johnny Burke in Britain, I think. And the horse has got form over the cross-country course. He was placed, wasn't he, here December, was it, I think, which might well have been the last cross-country race run at Cheltenham, wasn't it? Because the one at the festival was cancelled. And yes, he is. It's going to take me leaving my senses to back this horse because, as Gil says, he's rated 115 in Ireland over fences, and he's running off 140.
Yep. 25
pounds wrong according to the ratings, and that is just going to really mess with my head when I go to place this bet because it just doesn't make any sense. But this race doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean,
it's a cross-country race.
He finished third last, like you said, when over course and distance behind Late Night Pass, and he was 11 pound out the handicap then.
Yeah,
so he had no chance then, and he still finished third.
The BHA has him on 125 over these fences, isn't he? So so he's not that far out of the handicap.
I can see him running well. Fame After the Glory.
The mad one, it's not that mad, is it? Because
nothing's mad in this race.
Nothing's mad in this race. It's a mad race. Sean Bowen won this a couple of times on Back on the Lash. Statuario run to an RPR of 136 twice this summer at Market Raisin and Perth on fast ground. If he runs to an RPR of 136 in this, he's in the frame comfortably. So I thought Statuario at 18-1 had a little bit of a squeak.
That's a mad one.
So it is a mad one, but again, you can't complain about there only being 4 runners in a novice chase, David. And then when they all turn up for the cross country, say there's too many, nothing can, this is insane. So let's just enjoy the insanity of it. What do you like, Sweet David?
Well, I think it was worth a second look at the French horse just because he is running these cross country races in France, and he's got winning form over hurdles on good ground. So he wouldn't be without it in what I think we're in agreement is a mad race. But I was working on the similar theory as Kills of just looking at the ones in the handicap. I came down, you'll be pleased to know, on Tommy Bowes' side. He's been in really consistent form over hurdles and over fences. He's a front runner. If he takes to this, get out in front, stay out of danger. I thought he was a decent each way bet to nothing in let's all agree is a mad race.
It is. But I mean, to be fair to Sweet David, Conflated has run 31 times over hurdles and fences. He's a 10-year-old. Sweet David is 5 years old, and I think he's going to have his 21st run over obstacles tomorrow. So they don't mess around with them over in France, do they? They wouldn't pull them out on good ground at Exeter, would they? Absolutely not. Wouldn't mean anything. What do we got? Does anyone have an opinion in this? I don't think so. Possibly. Sandra says, has Mr. Coffee got any fans left? Look, this might be what he's been waiting for his entire life. You never know. Maybe he's been watching them go over this and go.
I'm a massive fan of Mr. Coffee. I enjoy watching him.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't back him.
Yeah,
with anyone's money.
Yeah, I mean everyone enjoys
ability plus what Tom would call a lummox, isn't he? I'd like to see him go up and down those banks or whatever they call it.
I believe he's chief executive of the Lummox Society, Mr. Coffee.
Made the best mistake I've ever seen at Sandown when he literally just cut a fence in half and left it there with a massive hole in it and carried on as though he hadn't touched a twig. He's a great horse, but he's not one to put money on.
He's never fallen, unseated, pulled up. He has completed every single start.
Yeah.
How?
But did you see the hole he made?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's exactly how has he done it? I want to get this horse on the get him on the flat. But all right, look, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. That is for sure. Okay, let's rattle on, shall we? One more on Friday. The Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle, a Grade 2, and possibly a primer for the Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. We've got two horses going head-to-head who were very impressive in their wins here recently. Potter's Charm 5-6, Valgrand 6-4, Gale Marler is 7-1, Roxtown Girl 12s, Grandad's Cap is 80-1, and Wildfell is 100-1 outsider of the lot. So, two horses, both 5-year-olds, who came here back in October on the same day, and both won very, very nicely indeed. Now, Valgrand's up in trip. To be fair, Potter's Charm's up in trip as well, but he's proven himself over 2.5. So, no great surprise to see him in at 5-6. The question, Rodders, is given Valgrand's impressive win last time out, is there a possibility that the extra distance will bring out even more improvement, or will he also, like a couple of horses we mentioned, be swinging at the bottom of the hill and get outstayed?
Both possibilities.
I thought you could say both. Yeah,
I don't think both can happen, but both are possible.
He could improve for the trip and still get outstayed, I guess.
He could, yeah. It looks like a two-horse race, doesn't it, between Potter's Charm and Valgrand. They ran on the same card last time out, 80 minutes apart, and they ran exactly the same time figure, with Potter's Charm carrying £3 more in weight. Yeah. However, Valgrand being around about 6 or 7 lengths faster from the second last to the line.
Right.
So the point here
dead heat
is that Valgrand won over 2 miles last time out, and speed was his big asset, wasn't it? You know, he cleared away from Potter's Charm. I actually got Robbie Wild, as you know, who often appears on these shows, to run them side by side. I had one on my screen, he had one on his screen. We preheat our button just as they both jumped the second last, and you just watch Valgrand streak away from Potter's Charm. However, Potter's Charm, like I said, carried £3 more in weight, and he ran further. He'd already run 4 furlongs further than Valgrand did.
He's been through that pain barrier twice now, hasn't he? So that extra staying pain barrier, which, like you said, you can be look. And especially with a small field, it's not the speed of Valgrand might well be a deciding factor as well. But if you're Sam Twiston-Davies, surely you're going to give the skeleton horse a bit of a test here, aren't you? I
think you are, yeah. And you're going to go out and you're going to try, you're going to try and bring your stamina into play. Having seen the way that Valgrand streaked away last time, I'm sure the time guru is going to be all over Valgrand just because of how fast he ran those last 2 furlongs. But don't underestimate how hard it can be to run faster for longer, if you know what I mean. I know they ran the same time figure, but Potter's Charm ran that time figure over a longer trip, and I like horses that can run fast over longer trips. I always think that the shorter races usually run at a stronger pace, so it's harder to record a fast time over further than it is over shorter. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's between the two.
Anything today?
I think it's between the two. I really do. I think it's between the two. I'm just not sure which one's going to win. You tell me.
Look, I think I agree.
What's going to happen, Ross? Come on.
I think I
You're
agree
a times
with
man.
I think I agree with what you're saying. I would expect, I would expect the 2 mile time to be slightly faster given the nature of those races. So the fact that they're pretty much neck and neck suggests to me, and normally over the vast majority of trips and grades and various races, if you said to me you've got a 2.5 mile horse dropping back to 2 but he's got a bit of speed about him, I would back him against the other one. And you've got the opposite. You've got a 2.5 mile with a bit of speed against him, and the other one is stepping up in trip. So I would prefer. What I'm saying is, I think Potter's Charm will win. You're about as confused as I am. No, I think Potter's Charm will win. I think Valgrand is a really impressive horse, a really fascinating horse. But I think Potter's Charm just has, I don't know, just has that little bit extra.
They seem to be very excited about him, don't they? I mean, Nigel Twiston Davis or Willie Twiston Davis said they haven't had one like this for a while. Was what they said. So, I just about favour him. You can see the case for Valgrand. I would just point out that Gail Marler was odds on to beat him last time, and she hadn't run since July, and she certainly didn't run anywhere near up to her peak. And if you're talking about time figures, Top Speed actually has a 7-8 pound clear on what she's done before. So, you know, if you forgive that run, she's better than that. She's better off at the weight she needs to be. She got beaten 17 lengths, but you know, she's not completely out of it.
No, absolutely not.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's just a 2-horse race, even though the market suggests that. Because she's better than that run. She needs to come out and show it again, obviously, because that was summer form, and she's now going against horses that promise to be better and go on and develop into better horses as the season goes on. So I do think Potter's Charm will win, but I expect Gail Marler will give Valgrand a lot more to think about this time. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, she did beat Flying Fortune earlier on. There have been some of those summer horses.
Yes, it's not terrible summer form by any stretch. No. She's right up there on the best of her form.
Okay. Can we? So basically, what you're saying is, if you can talk David into giving you 3 places, you're backing each way at 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, David, how's that going to go?
Absolutely terribly.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Because so would everybody else.
Yeah. That's the problem. That is the problem. Okay. Again, this show. I'm enjoying it, but it's pickling my brain a little bit. What's David? Just give us a clear opinion in this race, will you?
Well, I thought Rodders made a really, really strong case for why Potter's Charm would win,
and then bottled it at the end.
then didn't back it up, which sort of took the. I had to read back actually the Dan Scouten stable tour was in the Racing Post this week, and just wanted to check back what that doesn't. I mean, given Dan isn't shy of talking his horses up if he thinks he's got a good one, he's not overly excited about Valgrand. So I think the proven stamina that I think Potter's Charm has, according to Rodder's analysis, that would probably swing it for me. But like I say, I'm a bit confused after tonight's first half.
Don't worry, David. It's a game of 2 halves.
That was the easy race in Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to say we've got 70 horses to get through on Saturday. Right, go and get your half-time oranges, David. Have a lie down. Keels is going to give Rodders the hairdryer treatment, and because if you did it the other way, it wouldn't work.
Done.
We're going to get stuck into Saturday's card then, shall we? Starting off with 8 runners in a graded novice chase. Wow, look at that. Ludasud is 10-11 here for this this Arkle Challenge Trophy Trial Novices Chase. Look Away 3-1, Petit Tonnerre 11-2, Western Zephyr 8-1, San Salvador 14-1, Breach River is 25-1, Noble Anthem 50s, and Ballymackie at 80-1 outside of the bunch here. And yeah, look, it's going to be a cracker, isn't it? We've got a horse who, for a bit of Willie Mullins' mastery, would have easily landed a bit of a touch at the festival in the county hurdle, and then went up offences last time out. I'm sure a few people were thinking, what's the handicap plot for Ludasud this year? Oh, I mean, they'll do well to enact that this season. He absolutely bolted up his 10-11 to win in Grade 2 company, and they must be excited about a genuine Arkle challenger. But in terms of ratings, quite a few of these have a little bit of a squeak. Petit Tonnerre is very interesting. I don't think he's got much of a chance, but you don't have many horses coming back for another crack at this. Western Zephyr's also a second season novice. Look Away is a 7-year-old, but he's got some very, very good form and loves it round here as well. I mean, given how excited Rodders has been about Friday's racing, he's gonna combust.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is look, we've got genuinely an 8-runner graded novices chase. This is rocking horse dropping territory.
Don't want to pour cold water on it, but will the Fav run?
Look, I don't. Let's just pretend that
He has been declared on good ground twice in his life and was a non-runner on unsuitable ground both times.
What's your weather app saying?
Which is an issue. Well, I don't think there's any rain, is there? I don't know. I'll be in Spain, so I don't care. It's going to be nice and warm. Let's
not talk about rain in Spain. I think at the moment now. But
it won't be where I'm going in Spain anyway. I know that. But no, he's obviously very, very useful handicap hurdler on very soft ground. It was good to soft when he ran at Stratford. Aside from a pretty horrific howler at the fourth. His jumper was impeccable, and he's already £10 higher over fences than he's ever been over hurdles. And he was last year he was second in a Betfair, second in a county, and so he's going to be better over fences. If he runs, he's the one to beat, and I think it'll be very hard to beat. I do think Petit Tonnerre might be the danger.
Okay.
I mean, his best form over hurdles, it'd have been a match. In fact, it'd have been a better horse than Lodesud over hurdles. On his very, very best form. It's just that form is, even though he's only 6, that form is ancient, because he just went zoom like that down the handicap.
But arguably, I think he should have won last time.
Yeah, but should he done? And that was Imperial Saint, who's come out and absolutely gagged up at Aintree against Simpson as a stone higher now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I don't think that's I'm not saying, I'm not convinced that Petit Tonnerre is the most straightforward horse in the world. But I'm not sure Lookaway achieved much in a 2-runner race last time, and I would say if there was more than 8 runners, I would be tempted by an each-way bet on Petit Tonnerre, because I think he'll probably finish second to Lodesud if Lodesud runs.
All right, okay, but I mean, like I said, you can wait to see what happens.
Oh, you can do, yeah, of course you can. Yeah, you don't have to bet now.
It looking at the Met Office says there's no rain forecast. It's going to be pretty gloomy,
which means at least all the fences will be jumped.
Yes, that's always a bonus. All right, okay. Well, let's just assume that Lodesud does run. Rodders, what do you make of it?
I think you're going to be watching it through your fingers, aren't you? You're going to be one of these. It's a Cheltenham Novice Chase, and a bunch of horses that we're still not sure that they're naturals. I mean, Kills has already said that Lodesud did absolutely wallop one around Stratford, and if he does that here, he will not get round, and he only has to do it once because Cheltenham's fences take some jumping. So for that reason, I couldn't be backing him at the price. I think Petit Tonnerre's got a huge chance on form because the Imperial Saint run looks really good. And he did loads wrong that day, Petit Tonnerre. He didn't really jump like a natural. He's never looked like a natural at any stage.
That's the problem with him, though. He does loads wrong pretty much every time he runs.
I know, that's the worry, isn't it?
Well, I remember last year he finished second in this, but he would have finished third. And
he got himself outpaced and
he's like Les Dawson, isn't he? He's playing all the right notes in all the wrong order, and that's the problem. But the ability's still clearly there.
He's a funny horse. I mean, you could quite easily see him jump off in last, make 2 or 3 bad errors, and be tailed off after about 6 fences.
Yeah,
quite easily. And also, in the back of my mind, and to put it bluntly, what is the plan with Petit Tonnerre? He is rated 127.
Yeah, because it's not to win the Arkle, is it?
No, he's not going to be good enough to win the Arkle. He's rated 127. He's in against a horse like Lodesud, rated 148 off level weight. If he beats him, he's going to be rated 140 odd.
Yeah.
Handicaps are out the window. So do they really want to win this race?
He's also still entered in the 2-mile handicap on Sunday, by the way. But I think he was last in when the entries were made today.
Right.
So
actually, me getting excited about it being an 8-runner race.
Maybe they thought he's, this is actually a big prize there to be won. I don't think there is a plan for him because I don't think he's good enough to win a big handicap. I just don't think he's consistent enough. But this is a winnable Grade 2 race.
I mean, it's quite possible he could end up at
if Lodesud doesn't run, and maybe they just thought, well, hang on a minute, he might not go, and we've got a right chance at a pot here.
Well, and also to be fair, if Lodesud doesn't run and if he wins this narrowly, he's not going to get lumped up anyway because he's winning a Grade 2, but he'll be beating 130 or
but I don't think, as Rodders was alluding to, is that he's a JP plot horse because I don't think he's good enough to be one.
No, fair enough. But I don't know. I just looking at 11-2. I mean, there's another second. He's the Western's Effort's a better horse than him, and he's a second season novice who improved last time out as well, and he's 8-1. So
yeah, I mean he was really good, wasn't he, at Carlisle? He ran the quickest time figure of the lot last time out in the race.
I mean, he beat nothing again. He beat the Churchill lad, who's, we could fit him in this studio and not have to move any of the furniture.
Yeah, I mean, he flew was it the third last? He absolutely flew the last. Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, with me in it as well?
yeah, the Churchill lad is that small. Absolutely. I think his look away. I mean, he's won a graded Novice Hurdle here. He's finished second in the Great Wood to Iberico Lord. Is he not? I mean, if eight of them do run, he's in all the filthy each ways. I mean, Neil King's horse is running really well. This could be his. I know he made heavy weather last time out, but it was a weird race, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was a match.
Two-runner races are weird races, isn't it? You just haven't learned enough, have you? That's what bothers me. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Loadestone is potentially different class.
Yeah.
I'm just not convinced he's going to run. That's the only thing. And if he does, I don't want to bet in the race.
Okay. Fair enough. David Stevens, like I said, 8 runners right now. The way Keels is talking, it could be 4 by the time we get to the end of the race, but fingers crossed they'll turn up.
Yeah, but I think there does have to be a big doubt over the favourites' participation, doesn't it, on good ground? I really like Lookaway. Match race, he was fully entitled to win, but as the guys have said, the match races can always be a bit tricky. He did it nicely enough. He jumped well. His trainer talked glowingly afterwards, talking about the Grade 1 chase at Sandown next month, the Henry VII, is it? So, yeah, on good ground, that was at your top stuff. So, Henry VIII was it. Never was good at history.
Famous Henry VII.
Yeah. That's a pub, isn't it, that we've drunk in once.
Don't let him distract you, David. Carry on.
No, I'm look away. That's it, look away.
All right, okay. Henry VII. He was... No, it was a pretty big deal as well. Right, okay.
He was king, wasn't he? I mean,
he was.
To be fair.
He was. He must have done something right.
He got more than us.
Yeah, must have been born into the right family, which, as we've established, none of us have been. Right, okay. Moving on then. The 220 big race of the weekend. Obviously, we've got the Great Wood on Sunday, but one of the best betting races of the season. Full stop, isn't it? The Paddy Power Gold Cup. And this year, 15 of them currently lining up. And I'm talking slowly to wait for the prices to come up on the screen. The favourite is likely to be the Paul Nicholls trained and Harry Cobden ridden 8-year-old, rated 155.
Do you want the prices?
Excellent record at the track. No, I'm going to give him a chance.
It's that button next to the one you're hitting.
This race has been talked up for a while. Obviously, a stable that do very well in this. Stage Star, of course, last year's winner, and obviously a good pointer to potential Ryanair glory, or at least a crack later on in the season.
Shall I give the betting out?
I'm just going to check the train times.
I've got the betting on the screen here.
11-4, Judy's Destiny. 30-2, Garlaw. 7-1, El Redoto. Look at that. Perfect timing. 15-2, Imagine. In Excelsius there, 11-1, Fugitive. 12-1, Protector at 12-1. Let's Go Champ, 12-1. And we cut now to Tom Siegel, giggling at home. No. This is... we've got 15 runners. First things first, David Stevens. 4 places. Am I correct?
You are correct. 4 places each way, absolutely.
Anything extra on this race? Let's come to you first to mix it up a bit.
Well, Ginny's Destiny you mentioned there. 25-1 to win this race and to win any race at the Cheltenham Festival. Paul Nicholls has a great record in the race, has a strong hand. He's 2-1 to win this one. I like the Henry de Bromhead horse, Let's Go Champ. Lightly raced for a 9-year-old. Hoping there's going to be more to come from that, but it would be no surprise to see if Ginny's Destiny, who brings very, very solid Grade 1 form to this, is just too good for them.
Okay, thank you very much, David Stevens. I agree with you, in theory. However, Judy's Destiny has a profile, Keels, that suggests this horse comes on for the run, doesn't want particularly quick ground, from a stable whose horses have been coming on for the run, might well have December in mind, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, you've got those arguments, haven't you? I mean, the one thing is Paul Nicholls has suddenly hit form, and this will be Ginny's Destiny's first time out run in a big race, so he'll have been drilled for it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I did think he was by far the most likely winner, and I think I put him up in the big jump off pull out. He's on the short side now, though, isn't he? 11-4. He's off the same mark as Stage Star, but Stage Star won the Turners, didn't finish second. So he's been given a stiff enough task. Nichol's in his stable tour. He said some of his work this season reminded him of Masterminded. So I mean, who knows? I mean, if he's anywhere near that good, he'll win doing handstands a bit like Stage Star did last year. But I thought, with Protectorate keeping a few of these out of the handicap, you could make a case for a few others, but not many. And I just thought, I came down to the conclusion that obviously Il Ridotto could look well handicapped because he's been fourth and third in this first time out and had a prep run this year and shaped well until getting tired like the Nichols horses were doing in that Chepstow race behind Grandad Dam in October. But the one who shaped even better than him was Garlaw, who won this race 2 years ago. OK, he's £13 higher now, but he won off an £8 higher mark in January. And he ran an absolute blinder, I thought. I think I've backed Grandad Dam for a couple of races at Cheltenham. I thought he was pretty well handicapped. And so to run first time out, second there, I thought he just ran really, really well. Jamie Snowden's absolutely flying. I think he's had 4 wins and 3 seconds from his last 8 runners since November 7. The horse just goes really well here. Never been out the first 3 over 2.5 mile on good to soft or quicker. Loads of good form here. I mean, he just looks cast iron each way, doesn't he?
13 to 2 4 places.
Absolute cast iron each way.
And he's not going to be messing around out the back.
No, he won't be right out the back. You can ride him out the back, but he'll be 5th or 6th. And you look at some of the others. Il Ridotto's 2 from 20, isn't he? Over fences. The Harry Durham horse, who's got Imagine, they paid 320 grand, I think, 320,000 euros. And he does have a win over I Know the Way You're Thinking, but that was at 2 miles when that one was being, handicapped for a race over 3 1/4 at Cheltenham. So how much you read into that, I do not know. And he's never run really, hasn't done much running on good ground. So you can just pick holes. Fugitive seems to be getting on, and I'm not sure about the stable. I thought Let's Go Champions Tale would be handicapped himself on what he's done.
Well, he's beat nothing, hasn't he?
No, exactly. And Protectorate, cracking horse. You could see him finishing in the frame,
Well, so this is in contrast, Ginny's Destiny's record fresh ain't good. Apart from last year, where the Skelton
apart from last year, he's run really, really well, and it had gone very close.
We should have won this behind Midnight Shadow
because he just absolutely belted one, didn't he?
But his record fresh, apart from last year, is second first.
Yeah, he's very good. He doesn't do an awful lot of running on good ground, though, does he?
True.
And I just wonder whether it'll be a bit quick for him on. Both race and trip will be a bit quick for him on the ground. I really don't like any of the others. There's quite a few badly out of the handicap. So I just thought cast iron each way against the Fav Garlaw.
Yeah. Just to say again, it's getting to the point where I think the fact that Il Ridotto is so positive in the market puts me off Ginny's Destiny a bit more as well, and also the fact that twice over obstacles, Ginny's Destiny's run on good ground, one over fences, one over hurdles, and has been beaten 29 and 65 lengths. I don't know. It just looks to me like Ginny's Destiny will come on for this, and the likes of your Il Ridotto and your Garlaws who've already had a prep run might well make it difficult. Protectorate, to be fair, it was good ground when he did only just get pipped by Midnight Shadow.
Yeah, it's not that he hasn't handled it, he just hasn't run on it much.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Graeme Rodway, what's the pick for you?
I agree with a lot of what Keels has said, to be honest. I don't think it is a very strong race at all. And I think that in my mind, there are only 3 possible winners of it. And they're the top 3 in the weights. Protectorate, Ginny's Destiny and Garlaw. I just think that they are the 3 class acts against a field that is not very good. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if they finish first, second and third. I think that Ginny's Destiny is too short in the market to want to back. At this time last year, I was pretty confident Stage Star would win this off a mark of 155, but as Kills has already said, he was coming in off the back of winning at that race at Cheltenham that Ginny's Destiny was beaten in. He'd also won a handicap off a big weight before at Cheltenham. I don't think Ginny's Destiny looks as good to my eye as Stage Star did at this time last year, yet he's running off the same mark. I could see him running really, really well and finding one of the top 2 in the weights too good for him. I'll definitely be backing both of them, Garlaw and Protectorate. Protectorate is a real proper group Grade 1 horse, isn't he? Yeah. He's finished 3rd in a Gold Cup, 5th in a Gold Cup. He was third at Aintree last time, behind John Bon, who won a Grade 1 next time. There was the old Rowan winner was pulled up in that, Minella Drama. Envoy LM was in that, who he also beat in the Ryanair. Envoy LM won the Grade 1 at Down Royal. I mean, Protectorat is a Grade 1 horse against a load of rubbish, apart from Garlaw and Ginny's Destiny.
He's also run 3 times over, the Gold Cup runs and that kind of thing, but
he must run well.
Well, 2.5 miles over fences at Cheltenham. He's won the Ryanair. He won a Novice Chase by 17 lengths, and then he was second in this when he should have won. So
he just must run well. Protector a double figure odds with 4 places that Dave's given us. I mean, he must be in the 4 surely. I'll be backing him each way, and I'll definitely back Garlaw to win as well.
Okay. I think we're all kind of in agreement here. I mean, the fly in the ointment is Imagine, of course. We're talking about Harry Derham's affair about how he improves horses, and of course this horse has completely untapped potential. But David Stevens, again, just to wrap us up for the Paddy Power Gold Cup, will you?
Yeah, 4 places each way on it. The one they like, Garlaw has actually replaced Illuridotto as second favourite today. Illuridotto had been second favourite. But I'd take a chance on Let's Go Champ further down the handicap for Henry de Bromhead.
Okay, thank you very much. What have we got on the chat? Alan Keen's going from Mandara, each way at a big price. Sean O'Connor says Protectorat won't win this race. Alan Keen says Protectorat won't win a race this season. And Tom Leach says Protectorat won't be trying. So,
sorry, hang on a minute. What are they hooking him up for?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, yeah.
I've been sitting in my chair all day thinking, well, what
this is his
if
target.
this isn't the target, what is Protectorat's target for the season? If this isn't his race, what is Protectorat's race?
Well, it's got to be the Ryanair, isn't it? That's the only.
Well, they're not going to waste all season waiting for the Ryanair, are they? They've got to try and win a race before that. This is the obvious one. Come on. I want that. What's his name? Get him to get back in touch and tell me what race are they hooking Protectorat up for? I want to know.
So I went to the cinema this week to see a film. It's coming out. It's very good. You should go and see it. It's called Conclave. It's this mystery thriller about electing a new pope. It's a bit of there's murders, there's mysteries, there's all sorts of stuff, and there's bombs going off, and there's all sorts of stuff going on, and but not a single character was as worked up as Rodgers has been on this show. I was thinking, I mean, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And he's really raised the bar for Tommy Seagull when he comes back and tell you, right, okay. But yeah, fair enough. Get back in touch. Rodders has given it right back to the chat. Okay, 2:55 at Cheltenham. Just shy of 3 miles of this handicap hurdle here. 12 of them line up. Doyen Quest. It could be a good weekend for the Skeltons. 11-4. Email Andy 5-1. Gowl Row 30-2. Noble Birth 8-1. Thanks for the help 9-1. Itso Fiore 10s. Pinnacle Peak 11s. Quick Draw at 14-1. Look, the Skeltons are very good at aiming horses at big races, and the likes of like we just seen, your Protectorat, your Doyen Quests, maybe a couple on Sunday, your Be Awares in the Great Wood. They could well be aiming, as they did in the spring at Cheltenham back in March, for a big weekend down in the Cotswolds. And Doyen Quest at 11-4 has got to have a huge chance here. He's another horse who's got proper course form. It was a lovely spin around to both knock the cobwebs off Rodders, but also run really, really well last time out. Never runs a bad race. He's got a lot in his favour, apart from the fact that he has to prove himself over the trip. So you can see why he's favourite. Is he the pick for you, Rodders, or do you have another bee in your bonnet?
No, I don't fancy him. He's obviously got a chance, hasn't he? But I like the two at the top of the weights here. Gell Road ran in a better race than this last time, I think. Behind the Wall Park, he was on a roll, wasn't he? And he finished second to him. The 5th was Beacon Edge, wasn't it? Who came out and ran well in the.
Won it.
Yeah, won the Grade 2 at Wetherby. So the form of that race is very, very good. So I'll have a little bit on Gell Road, but I've backed Z-Band at a really good price. The yard won this last year with the top weight Buddy One, who we discussed earlier, under the trainer's son Jack Gilligan claiming 7. We've got Jack Gilligan claiming 5 here. We've got Z-Band nearly off top weight. And coming into this race last year, Buddy One won a race at Galway. And coming into this race, Z-Band actually ran in that same race at Galway that Buddy One won. Yes, he finished second in that race at Galway. But I just thought the fact that they'd run Z-Band in that same race at Galway that they ran Buddy won in last year, and then they're coming on to this race, was a bit of an indication that this might have been a plan for trainer Paul Gilligan.
He's also 3 miles good ground. He's proven
he loves 3 miles. He loves good ground. He was a good flat also, a good flat stayer, a decent flat stayer. I remember rating him a few times a few years ago, and this is just going to be his bag. So I think this might be the plan for Z-Band, and I'm going to take a chance on him at a big old price.
All right. Interesting. There's money for the Gilligans in the 3:30 as well, so the plan might be for both of them to run really well. But the other one you mentioned, the Gamble Road, I think he's got a blinding chance here, hasn't he? I mean, he's finished first and second in his 2 runs at Cheltenham outside the festival. His 2 runs at the festival was 6th and 7th in the Patemps and the Coral Cup. He's got beaten by the Wall Park, who's rated 152. I mean, if he wins next time out, he's in the Stayers Hurdle, and he might be anyway.
Yeah, and he's coming down in trip, which I like.
He's coming down in trip. He's positively ridden. He's top weight. He finished 4 lengths clear of Zane Knights last time.
Who was also on a 4-timer.
Who was also on a 4-timer. And, I mean, look, he's top weight off 143. You've got Z-Band off 140. Then you're down to Captain Morg's 135. If you take Z-Band out, he's £8. He's not just the best horse in the race. He's £8 better than everything else.
He's sure to run well, isn't he?
He's got to run well. Yeah. So he's my one for the weekend. I'm like, I can't see him running a bad race.
It's funny. I've put up 2 in the paper tomorrow. The first one is Gamble Road, and the second one was going to be Z-Band. Funny enough, but I jumped off at the last minute and went for Pinnacle Peak. There's no point in remaking the case for Gamble Road, but Pinnacle Peak, very much a good ground horse, has had a stop-start career, was off for a year and a half at one point, didn't take the chasing, but last year came back and improved and on good ground. Won first time out, then won very easily at the October meeting here, then finished 4 for 20 in the intermediate hurdle here on good to soft ground. Better the ground, the better his chance. He's still got a low weight. I know he's 9. But because he's so lightly raced and he's won 5 of his 13 starts over hurdles, this is quite raced. It might be still a bit of upside in him at a double figure price. So I thought he'd run well. I do fully respect the chances of Doyen Quest. Will not surprise me if he wins and wins well. Yeah. That's the only thing you've got to say about this. Dan Skelton is adamant that he's going to improve for the step up in trip. He still needs to show he's going to. But he's a super consistent horse. He was strong at the finish when he won here in April. And I think he ran into a fairly well handicapped horse and Josh the Boss last time as well, so that was a good run. But my 2 gets Phil Gamble Road and Pinnacle Peak.
Okay, thank you very much. David Stevens.
Gamble Road, an obvious chance that has been well made so far, but I really like the favourite in this one. I think he'll really relish the step up to 3 miles. Good ground.
I no longer respect that one's chances.
Make it even more sweeter when I make it my nap.
It'll be sweet, David. Oh no, wait, hang on, he's running early. Sorry, what were you saying, David? Wrap it up. Never mind. Again, never mind.
Doyen Quest. We'll love the good ground. We'll love the step up to 3 miles. Nice pie, but a reappearance at Chepstow. Yeah, nap.
Okay, lovely stuff. Ignore him, David. You're doing great. The 3:30 last race we're going to look at then at Cheltenham is another handicap hurdle here. Intermediate handicap hurdle over 2 miles and 5 furlongs. And we've got 9 to 2 co-favourites of 3. Hamsian, Why Not, and Major Fortune. All at 9 to 2. Champagne Twist 5 to 1. Long Draw 8 to 1. Wonderful Eagle 8 to 1. 9 to 1. Fireflyer and 14's Barred. Those 10 of them run here. And you're talking about horses who've been creatively handicapped and are improving. Major Fortune versus Hamsian. I mean, what a battle that would be in who was most creatively handicapped. Admittedly, Major Fortune's already shown his hand, although, to be fair, he keeps beating his own hand. Hamsian's got a little bit more to come. And yeah, it's...
it's Tony Martin's special written all over this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? 2 no-shows in Ireland. Runs a little bit better in 2 runs in Britain, a 3rd at Ascot. Looks like a perfectly reasonable run on good ground. Next time out, runs 2nd, giving £13 to Alphonse Legrand in the Chester Cup on good to firm ground. Hasn't been seen since. Alphonse Legrand's won the Cesarewitz, lost it, and then today, rather embarrassingly for the BHA, won it again. Yeah. They decided that the jockey who was trying to hit Alphonse Legrand so hard he missed the last one, so he doesn't get a ban for that. And so he's got that back, so big boost for the yard. This horse is rated 91 on the flat, 111 over hurdles. He's never run over 2 mile 5. It's gonna suit. He should be £20 better than that if he was to transfer his full ability. It's one of those. He's 9 to 2 now. He was 8 earlier on, and maybe a bit bigger. You can easily see him going off 9 to 4, can't you? Like, you know what I mean? Or You know, but it's a Tony Martin horse. You don't know. He could drift like a barge. But he just looks absolutely lobbed in, doesn't he, off 10 stone 2?
Yeah. That said, I mean, he does have to prove himself in these conditions, and again, the solid one here is Why Not for me. Henry Dale and Sam Twiston-Davies. You're nodding. Before I make another case for a horse that one of the panel fancy rodders, will you be tipping Why Not before I go off on one?
I think Why Not will run really well. I mean, he was good here. She was good. Sorry, it's a mare, isn't it? Was very good here last time. It's got the course form. Got Sam Twiston-Davies taking back over from Alice Stevens. I think Alice Stevens is pretty good value for £5. But having said that, she's not Sam Twiston-Davies. And Why Not is going forward very, very quickly. However, I could quite easily see myself thinking I'm going to win, cheering on Why Not, coming down to the last, and then see Hamsian appear on the bridle. I mean, Tony Martin did win this race 2 years ago, I think, with a horse called Unanswered, who was rated 111, exactly the same as Hamsian, and was a heavily gambled 2-1 favourite and won as he liked doing handsprings. And you could quite easily see Hamsian doing that. I mean, when he finished second to Alphonse Legrand, who has since won the Cesarewitch at Chester, he probably should have beaten him. Like he came from a long way behind. He's shaped like the best horse in that race. I remember I rated that race, or RPRs, I gave it a real big positive RPR. I think £13 more than his BHA mark. It was 100 of RPR. He's rating off 111 over hurdles of BHA rating. He could be different gravy. Well, Daniel King, I don't know a lot about him. I mean, he doesn't come to mind as a guy that Tony Martin uses for his plot jobs, though. That would be a slight worry for me. I think he's had not many rides for him in Ireland anyway. So that's a bit of a question mark. So for that reason,
is the weight part of that there?
Could be, couldn't it? What's he got? 10 stone 2.
10-2.
Yeah. Maybe not many of them can do the weight. I don't know. But for that reason, I'm going to back Why Not and hope that Hamsian isn't the handicap good thing that he looks.
I used to think years ago trainers used to put jockeys on that you'd never heard of just to pull the wool over your eyes, and they only needed steering.
Yeah.
When they landed a gamble. So we'll wait and see.
But I do think Why Not's interesting. I mean, she was behind Golden Ace and Ubeti here earlier in the year. Obviously, Golden Ace is very, very good. Ubeti's bolted up off 1, 2, 3 last week. 3 5-year-olds have won that race that she won last time out. Captain Tomcat came in and finished third. First Assignment, who bolted up, and then Guard Your Dreams, who finished third in Grader Company. So I do think that's a good springboard if you've got a young unexposed horse.
One of the horses that was miles behind, it's come out and won as well, hasn't it? American Sniper.
Yeah.
Horse, it finished miles behind Why Not last time, and has come out in front of form by winning at Newbury, was it, the other day? So the form's not bad.
And how many times do we have to say, Cheltenham form?
Yeah, Cheltenham form. Yeah.
But all right, David Stevens, tie a little bow on the show for us, will you?
I'm going to say it one more time. Cheltenham form. It's very important, and for that reason, Why Not would be my tentative selection. Tentative because of everything that's been said about Hamsian, who could just be absolutely chucked in, could go off very short. Tony Martin officially got his licence back a couple of days ago as well. He's already won a Cesarewitch this afternoon, so there's no doubt. It'll be to the surprise of no one if this horse is well backed and wins, but personally, I hope Why Not is the winner.
Okay. Although, just a quick one, what price is King's Hill, by the way, David?
King's Hill is 16-1.
That's the other Gilligan horse in the Buddy One Silks, top weight, actually. Was receiving lumps of weight from the Wool Park, but still gave that one a bit of a race. And I think it's halved in price, so just keep an eye on King's Hill. Okay, last shout out for the chat. Any selections in this? Sean O'Connor says Borat's a proper sausage. I don't think he's running. And it's all going on here. That's literally all, no. Fighting has broken out.
Broke out. They're calling each other names or calling us names, which is what both.
Yeah. Actually, you keep calling each other names, and we'll get the naps after this.
We're into the final bend of the Coral Fat Derby, where racing lovers of the UK are in a spectacular contest. And watch this, he's shaking his phone like it's a pocket-sized maraca. They're all getting rewards now. He's shaking it, she's shaking it, they're all shaking it. Play the free Coral Reward Shaker to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
Okay, naps of the Cheltenham November meeting then. We just talked through the best races on Friday and Saturday. So let's get to Paul Kealy for a nap on Sunday.
Yeah, I've bored everyone to tears talking about Burdett Road over the last month and a half, but I'm still napping him. Hopefully he'll go from the front, or at least have a prominent run in the Greatwood Handicap Hurdle on Sunday and win. I should be a good deal sadder and poorer if he doesn't.
You will, and you'll be toasting over in...
I will, however, be sitting in the sun.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Rodders?
I'm going to go for Garlaw in the big one, the 220 at Cheltenham on Saturday.
Okay, I'll go for the Handicap Hurdle with Gamble Road for a Twiston Davies special. David Stevens?
Well, it's no surprise that the viewers have got wound up tonight, is it? It's Rodders doing his best Donald Trump impression throughout the show. But I've already given my nap. Doyen Quest in the 3:30 Cheltenham on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Okay, right, we're off to the ballot boxes to vote for Graeme Rodway to lead the free world. Look, we'd have laughed 10 years ago if we'd said the situation we're in now, so let's not rule it out. Rodders for Prime Minister. Right, enjoy the weekend, and may your horses get a cracking ride around Cheltenham and enjoy every single minute of it. See you next time.